Hello neighbors. I hope the world is finding everybody safe and sane. And this is what I do to keep from going insane. Finishing up with 23, actually starting 23, but I've primed these pieces. These are gonna go on top of this corridor, like so. But because I did all the metal one way, I gotta continue doing it. So, I'm gonna start with my rub and buff, and I give it a pewter base coat. Of course, this is after I've primed it. Just gonna go through and just give it a light rubbing. Most of this is going to be covered up, and most of this is going to be at an angle in which you can't see it. But if anyone does any thorough inspections, I'd like it to be consistent. And it's more about, I know it's there than anything else. I'm also going to do this edge up here because I believe it's visible. Not sure how much of the top of it is visible. Also, I learned that these guys are going to be visible. They hide information like that in the book. So we're going to color them too. There we go. Okay, then we're going to do a little bit of the black. That's way too much. Oh, I forgot about the ring. Gotta do the ring. I realize that this is not specifically the way that rub and buff is supposed to be used, but it seems to work, and it looks pretty good, and I haven't had anybody tell me about a better way, so what do I know? But I keep telling people that this is how I do it. It is not a how to do it. Because I will be the first to admit that I haven't got the foggiest idea what I'm doing. I'm just smearing paint on these things until I think it looks right. What do I know, right? Okay, now I gotta do a little bit of black. And so for the black, I just got a little daub like that. And we're just gonna do a little bit here and there. You can make the whole thing black very, very quickly. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm not even gonna do a light smear everywhere. Careful. I'm gonna pretty much keep it localized. Perfect. And then what I do is I come back over with the silver leaf and I go on top of it. I've already got actually way too much silver leaf on here. And so basically what you've got is some highlights and lowlights. And I think that tells a pretty good story of depth. The metal is not perfect. Remember, this is the greatest hunk of junk in the galaxy, right? So I think that it's probably not the best made ship, maybe. And of course, then there's also special modifications. Okay. And this is gonna go on. We're gonna fit it first and just make sure that it fits. Then we'll pull it off and glue it. Oh, I didn't do that little piece right there. Silly me. I missed it with the black. There we go. And it probably doesn't need any silver leaf. Okay. So then we get to put these guys on there. And I have already weathered these. I do that with the yellow pigments, this stuff right here. And then I go over that with a sepia or brown wash. And then also a black wash. And I leave them each on there for varying amounts of time. And then I try to wipe it off as much as I can. So, let's get out our trusty destructions so we can figure out which ones go where. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So if you got a good flush cutter, a flush cutter is a cutter that cuts, it's got a flat edge on the one side, so it cuts right up against the part. If you do it with some pressure and get a really good cut, there's minimal or no sanding required. There's a little bit of an edge, so we'll get out our little sandpaper. This is super fine, just 320 is all. It won't even take off the paint unless I'm real aggressive. There we go. Okay. Oh, so there's... I see these guys overlap. And what I'm doing is I'm pre-fitting this. There's a slanted edge and a flat edge, and I can never remember which one looks better. That looks pretty good, actually. Okay, so what we're going to do is pre-fit all of these. And we're going to glue it. And I'm going to put the ceiling on. We're going to call it good. These last 3 or 4 kits have all been this one corridor. I'm a little anxious to get moving on to something else. I'm pretty sure that they are backloading all of the kits so that the later kits have most of the parts, because I am halfway through this sucker. I think there's only 40 some odd kits. Maybe 48, I don't know. And I'm up to 23. And I only have bits and pieces of the sucker put together. I've got some of the hull. I've got the cockpit. And here's my brother asking if we watched a movie. No, I'm sorry, we didn't. Every night before the kids and I go to bed, we try to get it, in a movie. And we are in a, surprise, surprise, we're in a Star Wars mood. So we've decided over the next couple of weeks, we're going to watch every single Star Wars movie in chronological order of the movie, of the timeline. So we're going to watch the prequels. Then we're going to watch Han Solo. Then we're going to watch Rogue One. Then we're going to watch A New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. And at that point, we probably should be watching The Mandalorian, but I don't think we're going to do that yet. I think what we're going to do is we're going to watch the next 3 movies, and then we're going to watch The Mandalorian. And then we'll get to celebrate finishing up all of that with the new 2nd season of The Mandalorian, which we are anxiously anticipating. Okay, now, so to do the glue, I get out my trusty super glue, and then what I like to do to give it a little bit of a fine tip, here's my glue drawer. I'll put one of those suckers on. You get like 150 of those for $4 or $5 on Amazon. So this is a little bit long. Don't need it to be that long. I'll get rid of about half of that. Sometimes I gotta clean up this tip. It's about time to get a new one on there. But anyway, I'm gonna pop this off. Gotta get it primed up. There we go. Don't need a whole lot. Ah. Anyway, I hope everyone is staying safe and finding a way to vote. I live in Oregon. We got our ballots in the mail, and we can either mail them back or take them down to a collection office. And so as to not overflow the mail, we're just going to drive it down. We feel like it's the least we can do. Jeez. But I encourage everybody to vote. We live in a country that allows us to do so. We should. It's the price you pay for advanced citizenship. And it's not a very expensive price to pay, so we should do it. Okay, enough preaching. So now what I'm going to do is park these guys full of paint, or full of glue. And they're going to catch the wedges from there. And just going to put a little teeny bit of glue in all of the little spots. That the ceiling is going to grab a hold of, including these little nubs. And I think that's going to do it. So when it gets happy, it pretty much just falls into place, just like so. And that's going to do her. That looks pretty good. I'll take a couple of stills. Probably do a hyperlapse of, I've got a couple of hull framework to put together. That part's fun. Thanks for joining. Hope it's entertaining, if not educational. Again, this is not a how-to, it's a how I did it, how I do it. Yeah, if there's a better way to do it out there, I hope to learn it. But thank you for watching.